We live in an area with a wide variety of industry and ag production, and with that comes risk of exposure to a wide variety of materials that could be toxic, whether it's one person or dozens, at work or at home. Community Regional is equipped to handle the decontamination process. Here's an inside look at how it works.
From the outside, it may look like any old trailer.
We're able to offer really just the highest caliber of hazmat life support. This decontamination unit is really the most advanced type of decontamination unit you could ask for.
But inside is where life-saving measures happen in the case of chemical exposure, a process known as decontamination.
The simple concept is just to wash the chemicals away from the skin or the eyes as soon as possible. What we really recommend is that that be done as expeditiously as possible, as close to the site of exposure as possible.
Dr. Race Vora is the medical director for the Fresno Madera division of the California Poison Control System. He says the unit can be needed anytime anyone comes into contact with insecticides, pesticides, or herbicides, all things common in an ag-heavy region like the Central Valley. Exposure can cause burns or affect breathing, the circulation system, even blood pressure. The mobile aspect here is what sets this unit apart.
The real challenge happens whenever there's a large-scale accident and dozens or even more casualties show up and they need treatment immediately. Sometimes when you're out in a field or in an orchard, you don't have a steady supply of clean water, and so the person has to be transported to a nearby facility where decontamination can be done.
Once deployed, community response teams can have this thing opened up and operating in just 10 minutes.
Literally dozens of patients a minute as they walk through and get decontaminated. It really depends on how sick they are. So as you can imagine, it's not just their skin that might be injured. They may actually be suffering from other organ damage that's affecting their lungs or their sense of consciousness. And so we have to be ready for all hazards. We have to be ready for someone who's critically ill and actually can't even stand up and walk for themselves. And so there's a part of this mobile decontamination unit that allows us to push people through while they're laying down.
The mobile unit also sets up special drainage areas so the chemicals don't get back into the city's water supply, keeping not just patients safe, but the community as well.
So I feel very lucky that we have this resource right in our backyard, and we do end up using it quite a bit. Thankfully, it's not for dozens of patients at a time, but even one or two patients who have the unfortunate misadventure of having an industrial or a chemical accident, they know that they can rely on us to do the best job of decontaminating them and keeping them safe and keeping our healthcare personnel safe.
If you or someone else is exposed to chemicals, Dr. Vora says the first thing is to use water. It can get 99% of chemicals off your skin, even eyes. He says you should also call the California Poison Control System. It's a free, confidential hotline available 24/7 for advice.